Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 13th and final episode of Magia Record. And last episode, a lot of our Mahou Shoujo got a bit of a lecture, a bit of a one-on-one on kind of how this whole magical girl contract thing works with Kyuu. And it's not great. It's not a great deal. He is not very open and honest about certain aspects of the contract that he feels are unimportant, but the magical girls generally disagree when they hear it, which is part of the reason why he doesn't tell them. Because why would you tell someone things that they don't want to hear if you're trying to get them to sign a contract? It wouldn't do it, unless you have morals, I guess. But yeah, we got a lot of that last episode and just kind of some backstory in general to go alongside of it. Yachio basically just losing all of her friends and kind of showing us how we got to the current, loner Yachio we have today. So that was pretty good stuff to get. And also, I mean, a lot of the information as far as the mechanics of the magical girls go, we as the audience that are already familiar with the main series kind of already know that. But what was new to even us was the double system, I think is what we refer to it as. Toka's invention, basically the real key, the root of the so-called salvation that the wings of Magia supposedly offer. And we got to see that in display here, and we've got to see it before, just couldn't really put a name to it, but we have seen it before, and essentially it just kind of purifies and cleanses your soul gem, which is pretty ideal, because you use the grief seeds for that, generally, sucks out the badness, and doing so prevents you from becoming a witch, witchification, which is an irreversible process, as was mentioned in the explanation. So, we didn't get much details on exactly how this works, though, and what repercussions there are, and there are definitely going to be repercussions here, because let's think about the grief seed for a second. The way that works is the corruption of our soul gems, it doesn't disappear. It goes into the use of grief seed, right? That's how the mechanic works. So if this is purifying the soul gem in some way, then that's got to mean it's essentially taking the bad stuff and putting it somewhere else. The question becomes, where is it putting it? Because we know basically Kamihama, I hope that's the name of the city, we know that it's weird in a lot of ways. And we can kind of make the logical conclusion that anything weird about this series, that this city, is connected to this Wings of Magia's double system. Right? And what weird aspects are there of the city? There's the increased witch population and the strength in witches. So we can kind of assume that a byproduct of this system is kind of powering them, so it's probably just kind of taking that stuff and giving it to them. And if that's the case, that could get bad quickly, because just over time you're powering up the witches more and more until eventually you can't defeat them anymore. So it's kind of a flawed system if that is indeed the case. And the Uwasa, the rumor stuff, is probably also an important part of the process. I'm not sure exactly how all the mechanics lie into each other, but this gotta all be connected for sure. And also probably the reason why Kyuu can't come there. I'm not sure exactly how that works either, but maybe it's just, yeah, I don't really know why, but apparently that has some effect on Kyuu as well. I guess because it's just so much interference with his system that he just can't function in it, something like that. But then there's a little Kyuu, so why is that a thing? Not quite sure on that either. So there are little things for sure, little nuts and bolts that I hope kind of get explained in this episode for sure. So yeah, no telling what's going to happen. We still don't know much about Ui. Throughout the entire show, we still haven't learned too much about the Ui situation, except for that, she wanted her disease cured. That's what Iroha's wish was for, and her existence just kind of got disappeared somehow. Probably from some magical girl wish, but that doesn't tell us a whole lot. And we still haven't seen Nemu, I don't think, like the girl that's in kind of a partner with Toka in the backstory. The flashback, we still haven't gotten much of her just yet. So maybe we'll see the two of them together. Maybe they're more connected in some way. I don't know. I don't know why I spent so much time talking this intro segment. It's the last episode. I kind of wanted to get things out. But Kuroe, I think her name was, she just kind of disappeared after the first episode, didn't she? She was voiced by freaking Hanakane, and they just kind of cut her out of the story. That's honestly the most tragic thing of the show. So maybe she'll make a return this episode. It's kind of a probably not going to happen hope that I have. But regardless, let's just get into it and see how they choose to end this off. So 3, 2, 1, play. Because I think that was everything I wanted to bring up. Oh wow, that's it's a nice piece of engineering. Little QB just sitting there looking adorable, like nothing's wrong. Like nothing's ever wrong. Anyway, back into this. But is that a good thing? I feel like it's probably not. I mean, you can liberate me if you want to, but I'm not a magical girl, so I don't need it. Yeah, that's all we really wanted. Just give us ooey answers, please. That's what we kind of came here for. Yeah, thank you for showing up. Well, that would ask you not to interfere with her. I mean, you're a little bit late. And when is the right time to tell them about this horrible stuff? It's not much of a counter-argument, Yachio. Okay, just, yeah, pokey pokey. Wakey wakey, Yachio. Or, Iroha. Yubi. Well, we're still hoping to find Ui, but this, I guess, didn't really help much with that, now did it? Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that as well. That thing is just so tiny. I'd probably keep it in my hands. I hope so, but, you know. Oh, I mean, that's not too much of a surprise, really. But still kind of hurts to hear. And the last time we'll see the opening. See, I did not get much more clarification on the double system yet. But yeah, the only thing I can think of is that it's just kind of sending out the dark corruption and the excess energy is being sucked up by witches, and that's why they're multiplying and strengthening. That's the only thing I can really assume. It just jumps right towards the camera. But please give me ooey answers. I don't have to jump into the game to find out. I mean, I will if I have to. And back into it. Wait for me, Yachio. You walk too quickly. I'm carrying a lot of weight on my shoulder. And I mean literally. Oh wow, this looks so good. This is environment. Yeah, I need more, Yachio. I'll follow you forever. A little bit. It's probably gonna happen either way, let's be honest. Like, that's literally what your wish was? I mean, that's a pretty understandable wish. Oh. Okay. That came out of nowhere. QB, guard me. Oh, did that thing have toilet paper on it? If so, we might want to fight it just to get some of that. Oh. Someone got a laser pointer? And that is shiny. Yeah, we're not gonna just abandon Yachio. We gotta get her to come around. Is there something wrong with getting a haircut? I mean, in certain contexts, sure. So, we're actually gonna be getting Yachio backstory, it seems like. And of course, it can't be positive. A modeling group. I don't see anything wrong with any of that. Ian Solo. But I do kind of get how it could go wrong. Because if her life becomes priority, then others might be less of a priority. I guess I just do kind of go hand in hand. Oof. You look so upset by that. But wow, can she actually fight well? Like, she hasn't done a lot of good, skillful fighting in this show. Oof. But looked like it didn't, though. Oh. Just burned our own path through. I found you, Yachio. I told you I wouldn't let you leave me. Yeah, now we got others to find. We're low on time, Yachio. Can't spend too much time on this. I can see that. You did quite well over there. I will become the new president. Wow, this is pretty good. It sounds like you're raising a death flag there, Yachio, but Iraha, but just I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a big deal. So now please don't die, because otherwise that whole thing will have been a negative. You need to get some magical girl GPS. Oh. Yeah, let's get going. We definitely overstayed our welcome in this place. Oh, little QB. Oh god, the little QB. Can't get over it. It's just there. The thing. It's like always around. Uwasa of. Oh, mommy. Hello. I call her mommy, but yeah. But she's just pretending to be with them, right? So this won't be an issue. Right? The gospel. Well, there probably are higher honors here and there. I mean, grief kind of sucks. At what cost, though? Oh no, here we go. Man, this is gonna be a fight. These are two very experienced and skilled magical girls. Friggin' Toka, just where did you even come from? I mean, did we at least stay for the lecture? Does not count for anything? Man, it's a gun versus a melee weapon. Oh no! Oh no. That could be bad really quick. But, oh. I guess that's one tactic. There you go. So, who did that? Oh, wait, is that Sayaka? Oh my god, that is Sayaka. She is in this one. Well, she's there. I mean, I'm not gonna question it too much. That's all on a different show, it's all good. But is it a good way? Would Madoka show up? Because that would be something. But Mommy does seem a little bit unstable here. I'm not sure what to make of it. Because the previous series had multiple timelines, so that does make things a bit confusing. What the heck did you just become? It's starting to really concern me, Mommy. Oh, that looks really cool, though. Wow. That's not good for us, though. Good thing we got Sayaka here to help. Who's hopefully really here and not an illusion, but you never know. I'm not sure. This looks bad, though. Oh, God, that's so much firepower. Yeah, you gotta move fast for that. Not exactly easy thing to block with a single sword. Probably not even really possible. Oh. But man, this animation. Whoa. That was a big gun. Oh. Ooh, yeah, hopefully she can block that. Oh god, no! Jeez, this might be too much. That did some damage. Oh! I mean, we're just gonna destroy this place at this rate. And meanwhile, she's just calmly drinking tea. Okay, I mean, this is probably far more interesting than anything you're gonna go do, but okay. Oh wow, just the visuals. This dynamic fight scene. Oh. Of course, not going super well for us so far, but definitely looks cool. Definitely save some budget for this episode. So yeah, how are you, Iroha? Because a lot's going on right now. I'm not sure how much you can help here. You've gotten better, but this is freaking Mommy over there. I'd rather we not do that. I still don't know much about that. And you did kind of raise death flags earlier, so... And you're kind of still doing it. I am very worried for Iroha now. Also, Sayaka. Although, you know, that's a bit different. Oh, man. How much power does Mommy have? I mean, she seems stronger than usual. I guess it's just Wings of Magia shenanigans. but just... oh, what am I looking at? Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, ow. Oh, just right into the wall. She did not guard that well at all. Oh, that was Yachi, okay. I just kind of thought that was Iroha. Oh, well, a little bit late to tell me that now, because I can kind of see it. Yeah, I kind of assume that much. I may be fuzzy on a lot of details about how all this works, but I don't think double's a good thing. I'm at least sure of that much. That's a little bit weird. Oh, wow, it's collecting emotional energy, yeah. So that's important. So at least that explains that mechanic, although that was kind of to be expected, more or less. Man, she is really hard to fight. You know, I thought Mommy may have been just pretending to be a part of them for information, but this seems pretty dedicated to me. So... QB, help! I don't know what you can do, but to help. Oh, well... Oh, that didn't look good. Your fight is with me. Get over here. I wish she just like smacks her and tosses her around. Yeah, could you get that off your face, please? Yeah, it's not a good power. It's probably a very negative emotion thing. I hope you're right. Shut up, phone. Battle just kind of moved over here. Got some mist going on here, which makes the place actually look pretty interesting, pretty menacing. Yeah, they're here too, which I kind of was afraid of. Kind of forgot what Mommy's wish was, actually. As everything just gets destroyed around. We've come a long way from eating rocks. I really do think the mist is a really nice touch. In reality, nobody cares about your feelings. But now I have a system to fix it all. Oh, is that Tsuruno? She looks a bit out of it. Boy, do they stand out in the crowd. That would suck, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with most of what she's saying here, it's just the method is the problem. Again, just everything being destroyed. Oh no! Don't let her fall. And here it comes, the system. But at what cost? You haven't answered that really. The bathroom. Man, this is such a messy situation. Yeah, don't let go. Use both hands if you have to. Maybe a leg. Of course, it gotta be made more difficult. This is gonna be kind of impossible to pull her up now. Oh no! Oh, QB, are you actually gonna help? Wow, kinda like you said, F you. Sayaka, at least someone came to help. But yeah, hopefully Kyuu can help Yachio Tiroha somehow down there. I don't know why I keep mixing up their names. Yeah, and that's what made me worried. That was a problem. But she's probably still okay down there somewhere. Although credits are starting to roll, so I'm getting worried. Yeah, some people are clapping more than others. And there's our favorite crazy girl. Some excellent walking animation there. Not gonna say anything. I mean, I appreciate just seeing you, but words would have been nice, and the song is great. Oh, here we go. Oh. Wow, we actually name dropped that concept. And yeah, credits are rolling. I don't know if we'll get something afterwards or not, but I'll be right back. My cat just kind of shoving the door and getting on in here. A cat shouldn't be able to do that, but the door doesn't shut properly, so... He's been scratching the door for at least the last 5 minutes, and I guess he just found his way in. A faint hope. Anything else afterwards? Surely, right? Well, a little bit. Yeah, how does a double system work? Asking the... Oh, it's so much text. I want to become a... Jesus Christ. Liberated, Kamaki, helping people, miracle. Please slow down. And here's Kitty Cat, by the way. Well, I have bad news about you. For you. That did kind of happen. Kitty Cat, watch the anime. That's Yachio. She's a magical girl, you know. My cat could eat QB, by the way. So yeah, he's a big cat. Actually, you can't really see how big he is, I think, from that. So this should give you an idea how big my kitty cat is. You know, he's a big cat. Anyway, that was the 13th episode of Magia Record. And boy, that last little bit there, they threw a lot at me. Definitely more than I could really follow. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear there's going to be a second season because you can't just stop at that point. That would just be cruel. They definitely teased a lot of stuff near the end there. So yeah, basically second season confirmed, I think. And yeah, this episode, man, what can I say about this episode? A lot of things happened, I would say. I mean, Yachio just trying to go back to being a loner, but Iroha, of course, isn't going to have any of that. She gave a pretty nice, heartfelt speech about how she's not going to die and they're friends and she'll be there for her and she'll be the new president and all that. And it was pretty nice stuff. However, that can easily become a negative if you die, because it has the literal exact opposite effect. You know, you get her to trust you a little bit, trust in that concept a little bit, and then it betrays her. That just makes things so much worse. So, yeah, I probably shouldn't say things like you're always going to be with her or not die or anything like that. It's probably not a good thing to say. It's just not. But yeah, this was a pretty wild episode, man, because especially when Mommy showed up, because at that point I was like, hey, Mommy's here. Is this when she says I'm not really a part of this cult? I just pretended to for information's sake, and now I'm going to help you. We can work together. I was about 50% that mindset, but, of course it can't go that smoothly. Mommy seemed to be pretty corrupted by it from what I can tell. She could still be playing the long con, but that looked pretty bad. Like, she seemed pretty mentally unstable. She came into a bit of a different form there. Just started wildly attacking anyone and everyone. Like, it looked pretty bad. That looked pretty bad. But yeah, Sayaka actually showed up. Was not expecting that, because Sayaka, I mean, she does things kind of happen to her in the main series. I don't really want to give spoilers for that too much here, although I probably have before without noticing, but the point is, yeah, Sayaka being here is definitely one of the more unexpected ones, I would say. And Madoka did not show up, or Kaname as she referred to her there. She did not show up. Homu didn't show up either. Man, if Homura showed up and became relevant in the scene, I'd probably die, honestly. But no, that didn't happen. Even Sayaka showing up was surprising. Like, the way when she first showed up, it was kind of focused on the legs and the walking and stuff. I went through quite a few different thoughts in that short amount of time. I was like, the way she's walking, the way the camera's doing that, it's definitely framed in a way where whoever this is going to be a fairly big reveal. Like, I could tell that. And then a little bit after that, I'm starting to think, you know what, I think this design kind of does look a little bit familiar. I can't quite place it, though. And then it showed, like, the hair, and at that point, yeah, that's clearly Sayaka. So that was pretty unexpected, pretty cool. So with that, we got Mami, Sayaka, Kyoko, at least. Was there anyone else from the main anime? I think that's it. I mean, Kyuu, I guess, technically. So yeah, I think that's all the main cast characters we got here. But anyway, yeah, just the fighting in this episode was... I mean, the only real fighting was the mommy scene, and it was just fantastic. The animation, the spectacle of it all, the visuals, the destruction. It was, yeah, 10 out of 10. I got no complaints with any of that. Just million freaking guns. Sayaka trying to fight against it all with a single sword. Pretty standard anime stuff, But just, yeah, explosions, lights, fire, slammed against walls. Everything you could really want in a fight scene, really. Like, yeah, running on that platform thing that she made there for herself. Just, yeah, really cool dynamic stuff. I was pretty into it. Let's see. But yeah, Sayaka definitely did not seem to be doing too well for a lot of that fight. But yeah, Iroha actually using the doppel thing in the fight, as well as Yachio. But yeah, we definitely made sure to remind that it shouldn't be using this power. It's not ideal. It's pretty bad, although we still haven't got very many specifics on any of this stuff, unfortunately. I mean, I think the only real clarification we got on the system at all was just a little bit of conversation in the car where they talked about how the negative emotions we get from the Uwasa thing is used as probably a power source or a catalyst or something with the doppel system. It's probably pretty inherent to it. So we got that much at least. So hopefully we can get more of that later on in the season 2. That's definitely going to happen with the way they ended this off. And my cat apparently just went over there. So that's that. At least we got something, though. We never really got Nemu or Ui, anything like that, though. Which, it's just unfortunate. I was hoping to at least get a little bit more of Ui stuff before it ended off. A bit more info. But they opted not to. The speech scene was pretty cool. Just suitably unsettling, because we have this very dark, misty sort of environment here for a big old speech. And, of course, the vast majority of the audience are wearing their black cloaks and stuff to look as sketchy as possible. And we just had some of our magical girls kind of mingled in there. Some of which seem to be, getting into it, and some of them seem to not. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But just... yeah, because it looked like Tsuruno was the one in the cloak and just looked fully corrupted by it, so that's not good. I'm just gonna hope that's somebody that just kind of looked like her, but it's probably just denial. But a lot of the speech, yeah, there wasn't too much of a problem with it. I mean, there's a lot of messed up aspects of this magical girl QB system, and finding a way to kind of get around it to make it better, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But it's just that this doesn't seem to be a very good system. If it was a good system, it wouldn't be in such an antagonist position to our protagonists. So, I mean, there's that aspect of it. But also just, you know, we're aware of the Yuasa thing, we're aware of the increased witch population, the strength of them. So, just, it seems way too likely that there's more pros and cons, and it's just not worth it, really. But I guess it's just a matter of opinion. They seem to have their opinion, because I'm sure they're aware of whatever drawbacks there are. There's no way they wouldn't be. So they apparently just realized apparently decided it's worth it, I guess. But yeah, that scene there between Tsuruno and Rena, just. And then, yeah, just freaking Iroha falling to her death. I mean, she's probably not dead, honestly, because especially since Kyubey jumped down there, probably helped in some way. I really don't know what the deal with the little Kyubey is, because I'm trying to think about that, seeing if I could make any kind of logical connection between what's going on and Kyubey being of decreased size. I got nothing. I guess it's just smaller because this place is less... because his system is more diluted here, it's more altered, that he can't fully develop into his full size, kind of like an animal in a smaller fish tank or whatever. It can't grow as much as it could, or like a crocodile in a swimming pool, it can't get as big as it normally could because it's a bad environment. I guess it's something like that. If I had a force an answer, force a conclusion. So, but yeah, just I'm pretty sure she's not dead. But if she did die there in that hole, that would be pretty tragic for Yachio, who was just finally starting to believe her words and stuff. Like that just causes a big step backwards. So it's not good. It's not good at all. So, but yeah, if this cult thing really can get mommy, it can get anyone. So that's why I'm pretty concerned about who's starting to buy into it and who's not. But yeah, what did Kyubey say as he jumped down? I want to hear that again. It sounds like fuck you. Like, it's what it sounds like every time I listen to it. Is it just me? That is what it sounds like. Like, it's not just me, is it? That is what it sounds like. Every time I listen to it, that's what it sounds like. There's no subs or anything, so just, I guess it's just open to interpretation. That's what it sounds like. It's just funny though. You know. Yeah, we saw a little bit of our, you know, crazy girl whose name escapes me at the end there. And she didn't say a whole lot at the beginning. She just kind of yawned and walked away like she's heard this speech 1,000 times, doesn't care about it anymore. I did quite like the animation of when it focused on her feet in the walk-in. Just very, very, very smooth stuff. And then she just walks over to the balcony. And at this point, I'm starting to doubt she's ever going to say anything at all. But she does say something pretty important after a great view of that moon. She name drops. I hope it comes soon. Yeah, Walpurgis Night. That's a hard word to say. But yeah, that was a pretty big plot point in the original Madoka, so yeah, if that's coming, if that's something we're gonna have to deal with, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an experience, right? Those are always fun. So yeah, anything else to really say with the episode? I mean, I guess I could try to rewatch that indie bit there again, try to catch all that stuff that went by way too quickly the first time around. Yeah, I think it was after the credits. Yeah, I was right about here. Yeah, your wish came true, Iroha. Onei-chan. Tragedy and cruelty move a story, especially Madoka. To begin with, how does the doppel system purify your soul gem? An important question we didn't really get an answer to. We see visuals of some of them. These roles have been forced onto magical girls. I mean, force is a strong word, but I mean, more or less. Because technically no girl was forced, literally, to sign a contract. They just were kind of led to believe it was a good idea, you know, at best, or a necessity at worst. But definitely going to feel forced, you know, because, you know, in the legal system, they're probably too young to really be signing contracts, so I guess it depends on how you look at it. But anyway, why does this doppel system only exist in Kamihama? Well, because they set it up here. I guess. Magis will not allow that, all caps. Why is this up? Yeah, I already read that one. Magis will give back magical girls' rights and dignity. Make magical girls great again. I don't want to become a witch. Haven't I helped you enough? Wonder who's saying that to who. But yeah, I don't want to become a witch is a pretty standard thing. And you're probably not alone in that. And some of this goes by really quickly. We can go home to Takorazaki, right? Probably not. All magical girls will be liberated from stories. I don't understand any of it. Do we have to keep helping people? Like, do we have to keep helping people? That's such a bother. Doctor said it was a miracle too. Who's doctor here? And what miracle is the doctor referring to? Is a doctor associated with the wings of Magius, that whole thing? Perhaps? Because, you know, Nemu and Toko were in the hospital, so a doctor could certainly be a way for them to go from that to a cult, you know. So who's going to help us? The important question. Oh, Nate-chan, where are you? Use your soul in exchange for it. What do you wish for? You killed her. That's... Yeah, Nate-chan, don't forget about me. That's gotta sting because that was the beginning of the show, was her forgetting about her. And visual-wise in that part, we have like what looks like a pretty nice hug between the two of them. Well, hug or kiss, it's hard to tell because of the angle, but I think that's supposed to be Yirohai and Ui. But she did remember you eventually, so that's something, right? But yeah, I mean, why did she forget about her? I don't think we ever truly answered that question at all either, really. So, because, yeah, but going by that sentence, she didn't want her to be forgotten or anything, so I don't know. It's hard to say, really. Still have several questions. Like, this first season did not answer anywhere near as many questions as I would have liked, but yeah, hopefully second season can do a better job with that. See, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I got to say on the episode. So, my thoughts on the series as a whole. I mean, it's Madoka. This certainly did not live up to the original Madoka series, but I don't think anyone expected it to. The original Madoka series was anime original, Genurabuchi, written good stuff, and this was adapted from a video game, so whenever you adapt something, it's always kind of limits its potential and how good it can be, almost always. Because you're kind of forcing a round block into a square peg kind of thing. So it's gonna, you know, get cut up a little bit. So that reason alone, I did not expect a whole lot from it. But that being said, it's still, at its heart, it does feel like a Madoka series, and it was pretty good for what it was. I mean, there were certainly certain parts where I thought the pacing was a bit off, especially when we were first introduced to our whole Momoko Rena group or whatever early on. I was like, hey, but suddenly had a bunch of characters thrown at us. Okay, and we're kind of a part of this now. And then they just start fighting like right in front of us. And I was like, okay, there seems to be a lot of drama here that I kind of just got thrusted at me. I don't have much context for any of this drama, so could you just like stop fighting, please? You know, that part there seemed a bit... That was probably my least favorite part as far as my biggest criticisms would probably be that part. Like, that's when I've really felt the most that things were not going as smoothly as they should narratively in the show. But for the most part, I'd say everything felt pretty fine, you know? But that was probably my biggest complaint. I was just like, okay, I just met these people. Why are they fighting? What is this drama? Like, this feels a bit unnatural. I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. But most of the show wasn't really like that. Most of the show, I'd say, was pretty fine with, for the most part. There's quite a few characters, honestly. The original Madoka series, I think there was only, like, 5 or so magical girls of any real importance, like our main squad. But here we have tons of magical girls that are important. Like, a lot, and... like straight up an enemy magical girl faction essentially, which again the main series didn't have. So they definitely tried new things with this, for sure. Kind of more of a big old conspiracy thing, because the main series kind of relied a lot on the audience not knowing the universe, the mechanics, and kind of experiencing the discovery of these horrible realities of being a magical girl. You know, make a really dark approach to it. So the main series did rely on that a decent amount, which this series, of course, couldn't. So it did have to try to do new things, and I think the idea of having like a evil cult that's at the heart of it seems to have good intentions, but the methods are something we can't agree with. That's pretty good plot element, I think, because it's not like a mustache twirly evil kind of thing, which would not really fit Madoka, I don't think, because that's really never been a Madoka thing. It's always been, I mean, the closest thing to a real villain in the main series was Kyuu, because he kept secrets and the magical girls had a lot of animosity towards him because of that, but he never saw himself as evil. That was never really how he was painted. He was just always painted as kind of a necessary evil. Technically has the word evil in it, but I mean, just kind of a necessary system to keep things going. Like, he's doing a overall good job, but just sacrificing characters that we care about in order to do it. So that made him kind of feel like a villain in a sense, but overall he wasn't trying to like destroy things or anything, so he wasn't like a villain in that sense. So having any kind of straight up, haha, I am evil, I will destroy everything would not fly. So I do like this group here because, yeah, we have seemingly characters like Mami who are good and rational people, seemingly kind of getting drawn into it, and that wouldn't happen if it was just a straight up evil cult. You know, she's obviously been convinced there's value in this, and clearly a lot of other people have. If all those people in those black uniforms, black cloaks are magical girls, a lot of people have bought into this. So yeah, this is something that's a big problem. So just kind of a complicated issue, not something that can be solved just by quickly beating someone up, right? So I'm not sure how we will solve this in the grand scheme of things. It just makes things pretty interesting. Because that is kind of the whole meat of the series, right? Just this organization and what they're trying to accomplish. That pretty much is the show in a nutshell. Everything else is just kind of either a byproduct or a means to this end that they're trying to push, like the witch increased population strength, as well as the Iwasa. It all comes back to this. So this is the real meat of the show. So that's why I'm kind of talking about it a lot. And we are starting to meet characters in this group, some of which we were introduced through the group. Some of them people part of our group already knew, like Mifuyu, who's clearly a part of the group, and that leads to some drama between her and Yachio. And, you know, it was kind of hard to tell, but it seemed like some of our other girls were kind of starting to get into this. Like, Tsuruno is, she's clearly there, like, she's got the hood on. She seems to be actually falling in with them. So, yeah, this seems to be a real threat to our way of life. And, again, I don't know what we do about this, like, because the goal of liberating magical girls, that's something a lot of people can get behind, and most of these people probably don't know any real details about the system. We don't even know all the details about the system, you know, anime only watchers at least. So yeah, maybe they'll change their mind if they realize some of the repercussions, some of the backlash, some of the side effects of this, but I'm sure some still wouldn't. So I don't know, this is just a really messy situation that we gotta deal with, really. And I am certainly interested to see how we go along with that. So yeah, any season 2 or whatever, I'll certainly watch. It's still a very good show in its own right. A lot of very interesting characters, amazing character designs. That was something that definitely stood out to me with this show, is the character designs. I still remember the transformation sequences we got in that one episode. They were delicious. Of course, nothing will ever match up the Symphogear transformation sequences. That will always be kind of where the bar is, but this got pretty close. We got some pretty good stuff here. But yeah, the designs themselves were always great. Mifuyu's design was one of my favorites for sure. And just, yeah, pretty interesting characters. Especially that, you know, the blonde girl with the hat near the end. Which I would remember her name if she had more screen time, but she didn't, so I don't, unfortunately. Let's see, what else can I really say about this show? I mean, less people died than I would have expected, really. I mean, episode 3 of the Madoka series, it had that thing that happened. We didn't really have anything quite to that level in this one. But again, that series wanted to invoke how dark it was to an audience that was not familiar with it, where this is just an extension of it. So, again, not as necessary, really. We got our dosage of darkness mostly through backstories. Mostly. Although we did have some stuff like the one, the loner area, what was she called? You know, the whole Rena stuff, you know, that whole thing, like that existence kind of died. Iwachan, I think it was. You know, I guess it was sort of a death, but most of it's just kind of in backstories. Because in Madoka, every character has to have a depressing backstory. It's kind of a rule. But as far as mysteries that were brought up and solved, a lot were brought up. Not a lot were solved. We learned about the existence of the Doppel system. We know that the rumor, the Uasa stuff is powering it, essentially, like a big fundamental part of making it work. And easy to speculate that the increase in magic of witches is a byproduct of that, because it's got to go somewhere. And that's about it, though. There's got to be more to it than just that, for sure. Especially since they kind of reminded us that they have not told us everything in that kind of end preview sort of thing there. You know, so I expect more answers to come, for sure. The Ui stuff, like, we know Iroha wished for her sister to be cured of her disease. I don't know if we ever got any specifics on what the disease was. I don't know if it matters too much. But I don't know how we go from cleansing her of her disease to her just being gone from existence entirely. Because if it was her, Toke, and Lena, the other girl, her name escapes me. But if they were all in the same boat, that would make sense. But they were all together before, and yet they're clearly not all together now. So what happened that caused that separation? That's another thing I would like to know for sure. Definitely. Will we get into time travel elements in the show? Who knows? Probably not. I guess it would be one way for Homo to join the scene. See, I mean, as far as like individual little Uasa arcs, I don't know if there's too much I really had to say about any of them. I mean, some of them were fairly interesting, I guess. I mean, the one that gave us a bit of a peek on Arui, and in the initial look at Mifuyu was, I guess, kind of cool. But I guess not a lot to say about them beyond that, really. Just, yeah, none of them were super interesting, I would say. None of them really stick with me that much. All aside from, I guess, the Iwachan stuff was pretty emotional. I guess that did kind of stick with me a little bit, but still not much to say about it. So, yeah, overall, I'd say I was pretty happy with this. Yeah, I don't think I have much more to say on it. Just, it's nice to have a bit of that Madoka Magica feel again, because it's been quite a long time since the original series aired. I watched it as it aired, you know, because I was one of those lucky people that got to watch it without being spoiled at all. I didn't have anyone hyping it up to me as being a masterpiece, you know, genre deconstructing, dark. Like, I had literally went into that completely blind as it was airing. I was like, oh, cool, magical girl show. I like magical girl shows. I'll watch it. I'm sure it's fine. And then just things happened, and I was just blown away because I was also fairly new to anime at the time, like as far as watching seasonal stuff. So I'd say I pretty much got the full impact of Madoka when it aired. So as a result, I have a lot of nostalgia and love and passion for the show. So just having another taste of it's great. Of course, it's not gonna. I can't fully relive that through this for several reasons, but it was still nice. It was so nice. I'm glad we got this. It's just good to have more Madoka stuff at all, even if it's a little bit more shallow than the original meat that I experienced before because of various factors. Still good. Still good. And yeah, I'll certainly watch more, and hopefully you liked it as well. Hopefully you like my reactions to it, and that's all I got to say. Time to just wait for more, I suppose. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.